The great democratic experiment has reshaped the modern world. We often see democracy as the end of history, the final destination on the road to freedom and equality. But what if this grand journey contains within it a hidden peril? What if the very forces that promise to liberate us also have the power to enslave us in a new and more subtle way? History has given us a man who saw this with stunning clarity. A young aristocrat from France who journeyed across the ocean not to judge a new nation, but to understand the very spirit of its people. He saw both the immense promise of a society built on equality and the profound dangers lurking beneath its surface. Join us as we step into the nascent American Republic with Alexis de Tocqueville to discuss his masterpiece, Democracy in America, and his timeless warning about the tyranny of the majority. Born in Paris in 1805, Alexis de Tocqueville was a nobleman who came from a family that had been deeply affected by the French Revolution. In his early 20s, he began his career as a magistrate, but became increasingly fascinated by the political and social transformations sweeping Europe and America. In 1831, he embarked on a 9-month journey to the United States, officially to study its prison system, but with a far greater goal in mind: to understand the nature of democracy in action. He traveled extensively across the young American Republic, interviewing politicians, lawyers, and ordinary citizens. The result was his 2-volume work, Democracy in America, a masterpiece of political science and sociology that has been studied and debated for nearly 2 centuries. His sharp analysis of democracy's strengths and weaknesses remains as relevant today as it was in his own time. Our conversation today will be centered on Alexis de Tocqueville's seminal work, Democracy in America. The first volume, published in 1835, analyzes the American political system, while the second, published in 1840, explores the social and cultural effects of equality. Tocqueville's core argument is that the equality of conditions is the defining characteristic of the modern age. While this equality brings great benefits, it also poses unique threats to liberty, particularly through the power of public opinion, a phenomenon he famously termed the tyranny of the majority.
Monsieur de Tocqueville, welcome. Your journey to America was not just about studying a nation, but about understanding a global phenomenon, democracy. What was your most profound observation?
My most profound observation was that the equality of conditions is the fundamental principle of the American people. Unlike Europe, which was built on a hierarchical system of classes and aristocracy, America was founded on the idea that all men are equal. This equality is the great engine of its society, but it also contains its greatest dangers.
You warned against the tyranny of the majority. What did you mean by this?
I meant the subtle yet powerful pressure of public opinion to conform. In an aristocracy, a man is judged by his family and his class, but in a democracy, he is judged by the opinion of the many. The majority in a democracy has immense power, not just to pass laws, but to shape thought itself. It is a tyranny of the mind, a subtle coercion that leaves a man alone and helpless to resist. He is not forced by a king, but by everyone.
So, democracy could potentially stifle individual thought.
Indeed. When opinions are all uniform and men feel a constant pressure to conform, the human mind will cease to invent and will only imitate. The result is not an intellectual flowering, but a kind of intellectual stagnation. The majority may be wrong, but no one dares to speak out against it.
What did you see as the greatest dangers of this equality?
The first is the rise of individualism. Not to be confused with selfishness, individualism is the habit of a citizen to withdraw from public life and to focus solely on his own private concerns. When everyone is equal, each man is tempted to retreat into his own small circle of family and friends, leaving the public sphere to others. This weakens the bonds of community.
You also feared the rise of a new kind of despotism.
I saw the possibility of a soft, gentle despotism unlike any the world has ever seen. The government would not be a tyrant, but a benevolent shepherd. It would provide for every need from cradle to grave and would spare the people from the trouble of thinking and acting for themselves. The people would eventually become so dependent on the state that they would cease to be truly free.
But what did you see as the great strengths of American democracy?
The greatest strength of the American system is its associations. Americans, when they see a problem, do not look to the government to solve it. They form a committee, a club, a group. This habit of coming together to solve local problems is the antidote to individualism. It keeps the civic spirit alive.
You wrote that Americans often have a restlessness of mind and a feverish excitement. Why is this so?
It is a consequence of the equality of conditions. When men are equal, they are filled with an immense yet unfulfilled ambition. They see that they can rise, but they also see that they can fall. They are in a constant state of anxiety and competition. This restlessness, while it can be a source of great progress, can also be a source of profound unhappiness.
You noted the strength of local government in America. Why is this so important for a democracy?
Local government is the primary school of liberty. It is where a man learns to be a citizen. It is where he learns to work with others, to compromise, and to take responsibility for the well-being of his community. Without a strong local government, a nation may have a free central government, but it will have a people who are too weak and too isolated to defend their own freedom.
How does religion, in your view, serve as a check on the excesses of democracy?
Religion in America is not a political force, but a moral one. It is a counterbalance to the materialism and the individualism of a democratic age. It reminds the people that there is a purpose to life beyond the pursuit of wealth, and it provides a moral foundation that is necessary for a free society to survive.
What is the difference between a love of equality and a love of liberty? Can the two be in conflict?
They can be. A love of equality is the desire for all men to be the same. A love of liberty is the desire for all men to be free. The passion for equality is a stronger, more universal passion, and it can, if not checked, lead a people to a state of servitude. The people may be willing to sacrifice their liberty for a promise of equality.
You wrote about a new kind of aristocracy. What is this?
I feared that in a democracy, a new kind of aristocracy could emerge from the industrial class. The owner of a factory is a kind of modern aristocrat, but without the sense of duty and honor that characterized the old aristocracy. He is a man who is only interested in his own profit. This is a new and dangerous form of inequality.
What is the relationship between the press and the health of a democracy?
The press is a vital institution in a democracy. It is a way for the people to communicate with one another and to hold their leaders accountable. However, in an age of equality, the press can become a tool for the tyranny of the majority. A newspaper may be more interested in pleasing its readers than in telling them the truth.
What is your final message to the modern world, which is still debating the promise and peril of democracy?
I would say, cherish your liberty. Be wary of the seductive promise of an all-powerful state that will take care of everything for you. Defend your local associations and your right to speak against the popular opinion. And remember that the future of your liberty rests not with your government, but with your own willingness to participate in a common life and to stand up for your convictions.
If you were alive today, what would be your perspective on the debates surrounding the tyranny of the majority in a world of social media where public opinion can be so quickly and powerfully mobilized?
I would say that the tyranny of the majority is more dangerous today than it was in my time. The internet has given every man a voice, which is good, but it has also given the majority a powerful tool to silence dissent and to enforce a kind of intellectual conformity. A man can be ostracized and ruined by public opinion in a single day. My advice would be this: cherish the right of the individual to be wrong, to be peculiar, and to hold a different opinion. For without this liberty, your society will not be a collection of free men, but a collection of automatons.
Closing reflections and summary. And so, our time with Alexis de Tocqueville concludes. His Democracy in America is a timeless warning that the price of equality is eternal vigilance. He reminds us that the tyranny of a king is easy to see, but the tyranny of the majority is a far more subtle and dangerous force. He taught us that the health of a democracy is not measured by its laws alone, but by the strength of its civil society, the vitality of its local communities, and the courage of its individual citizens. Tocqueville's legacy is a powerful and sobering reminder that democracy is not a destination, but a delicate, ongoing experiment. He reminds us that the promises of freedom and equality are not guaranteed, and that the future of a free society depends on our willingness to constantly tend to the garden of our liberty. Thank you for joining us, and until our next dialogue, remember that the fate of your nation is in your hands.